The divisional round is in the books. We're on to the conference championship games, and it's 3, 2, 1. The divisional round is in the books, and we're on to the NFC Conference Championship and the Arrowhead Invitational. This is about to get treacherous. So grab your trail mix as we... 3, 2, 1. This is about to get treacherous. So grab your cheeseburgers as we ascend Mahomes Mountain. That was good. He loves cheeseburgers.
Great job by Almost Andy.
Almost Andy's fantastic.
He's fantastic.
Excellent.
Hell of a singer. Super nice guy. Great guy. All right, so here's the deal. There's only 4 quarterbacks left in the playoffs. So we will put them on their own mountain because they've earned it. Be kind of boring mountain, so we have something extra for you. But, so people can see it, 4 quarterbacks left. Bottom of the mountain, sorry, somebody has to be there. It's Jalen Hurts. And he has no company because people are ahead of him. Now he got banged up, and his stat line, to be fair to Jalen, A.J. Brown, a little less time in the library, maybe a little more time on the jugs machine, and Jalen Hurts' stat line's a little bit better.
That's very true.
Second row, Allen and Jayden, and then obviously atop Patrick Mahomes, with or without, as Wilds put it, if the Chiefs-Texans game was played under call-your-own-fouls rules, the Chiefs still would have won the game. Thoughts, comments, critiques on that iteration of the mountain?
I got a full screen.
I got a little question.
Here we go.
I'm just going to take the audience behind the curtain.
Oh.
You didn't... I think Jayden is ahead of Josh. Is that correct? I know you like to say you say that. He says that, but I don't.
Well, who's ahead of Jalen Hurts? Nobody?
A vacant guy?
No, but you just I don't know. But so you're telling me Jayden is not ahead of Josh?
I'm telling you
they're just equal.
They're on the same row.
Okay, all right. But overall, this is now that you've cleared that up, Nick, I'm gonna give you credit. This is the first perfect mountain of the season.
I
agree with you.
I actually agree. I guess it's hard to mess up 4 guys.
Right, 4 guys. I mean,
yeah. I mean, Mahomes is
it's like if you race Usain Bolt from like here to the wall.
Hurts is hurt. So and then you put
Yeah, you could. If you had messed that one up,
it's a statistical full screen.
No, I'm excited for it rather than these 2.
No, because I'm a Mahomes guy. I'm beloved in Kansas City. Everybody knows it. Here's my full screen. I just feel like, and I wrote this on Twitter, it got quite the response. And as you know, I'm easily swayed. A few compliments, I'm like, oh, am I the Jalen Hurts defender? Am I the Jalen Hurts defender all of a sudden? I guess so. I've been nominated. All right, so Jaden's crushing. We get it. Jaden's doing amazing. He played indoors against that Lions defense, but he's doing great. Josh Allen, we literally had a question on Monday's show that we took out of the rundown, which was, Josh Allen prove he's the MVP? And I was like, why? Because he had 150-something yards?
Total.
Patrick Mahomes, again, I think he had 177 yards passing.
Yep.
But the narrative around Mahomes is he does what he has to. You know, he has a winner's mentality. Whatever needs to be done.
Oh, so you are going to be the Jalen Hurts guy here.
And then Jalen Hurts, you would think that his stat line would be totally divorced from Josh and Patrick Mahomes. Like, no, it's just right in the same neighborhood. But everyone's like, the question we were going to ask was like, is Josh Allen the MVP? Is Mahomes the GOAT? And is Jalen Hurts the weak link?
This guy, this guy.
They're all doing the same thing. They're not turning the ball over. They're playing within the system. They're not making any mistakes. They're providing leadership.
It's
storming. Oh, it's storming.
Hold on.
Jalen Hurts,
before we do the real
he's
thing.
He's making some sense, though.
Except he is arguing with people not at this desk.
Well, Dusty was putting that
No, you're arguing with Dusty for putting a question in the rundown we didn't do. TV shows that you hate.
It's indicative of a larger problem.
On Twitter. None of us here have crushed Jalen for his Game 2 performance.
But no one's nice to him. No one's nice to him.
I'm an Eagles guy.
Buddy.
But
Oh, sweet.
If you Google first things first compliments about Jalen Hurts, it's only my picture.
The Wilds.
And it's only from today. From last segment.
In the last 30 seconds.
Minute. Just saying, he's flying under the radar. He went in there and said, all I care about is winning. And it's like, man, he's not doing enough. Josh is not doing anything either. He's winning. It's just you would think that he's throwing for 30 yards.
Wait a second.
And Josh is like,
hold on. Gosh darn it, man. This isn't what we were supposed to be doing here.
I told you I had a full screen.
None of us killed Jalen Hurts for his Game 2 performance. Game 1, his star wide receiver shined the light on him by reading on the sideline is what happened. Game 2, I even said he should have had a better stat line, but that same star wide receiver dropped the ball. And yesterday when we talked Eagles, the only criticism was of Nick Sirianni, who you then also caped up for and was like he's better than Sean McVay somehow. And then, again, Gianna, make it... curate Wild's Twitter mentions better, please. Put a filter on it or something. Because you're like the worst juror imaginable. Whoever gets to give the final closing statement, you're going to be like, they convinced me. Whatever the last thing you read online.
No, you know what it is?
You could own an NFL team.
Yeah. No, I'm the mayor of fair, and I don't like people getting too complimented, and I don't like people getting too...
But none of us have taken a shot at Jalen Hurts.
The world has. The world has. The world has, and I'm here to defend the guy.
Somebody invite Wilds on a podcast.
$1 million worth of games.
My God.
I'm just saying. The guy's doing what needs to do to win.
I hear you.
Thank you.
I hear you.
So, for the actual mountain, 10 minutes into the segment.
Well, you told me that.
I thought that was the quick one.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. So here's what we decided to do. An end-of-year mountain, end-of-year-ish. But first we want to show you where guys entered the season. So here was the mountain entering week 1. Again, it all holds up really well with maybe one exception. Caleb might have been a touch high.
The Prince.
And the Prince, his body's betrayed him.
And Lamar is
another
low.
Aaron Rodgers.
You know what, Coach? We'll get to Coach.
This didn't hold up well
This is going into the season. This is not right now. This is going into the season.
Yeah.
So, if we did it again, a mountain of the full league as of this moment. Off the mountain, 5 teams, pardon me, who, if we can do it, who do not know who their quarterback is going to be next year. Pretty simple. Those 5 teams don't have a quarterback. They don't know. 7th row. Oh, my dear, dear Prince. How the fall has been.
Unbelievable.
Penix and Bryce. Shout out to Bryce. He was off. He was up a bit. He's there. That's probably fair. Kyler, man, I don't know what's going to happen for Kyler. I just got to tell you.
Yeah, it's supposed to be this year.
Derek Carr is happy to be there. Russ happy to be there. Aaron Rodgers doesn't even know he's playing. This is where he is. 6th row. Darnold moved up, at least. This is an interesting row. 3 guys that, if everything is exactly perfect and right, can actually put up great numbers, look amazing, maybe even trick people into thinking they're first multipliers. But the moment something's a little bit off, you really see the truth comes out. And then 3 guys who are entering year 2. Also, by the way, I saw Wild's brain, all the gears turning about how he wanted to say, Caleb, better make the playoffs year 2. New coach, all this talent, generational prospect, then realized, I don't want that same standard for Drake May, so I will just go ahead and keep it close to the vest
Yeah,
here.
the weapons. You
said you guys are getting T. Higgins.
Maybe.
5th row.
New coach.
Jared Goff, man. It really looked like Goff was going to move up his stature in the league, but a 4-turnover playoff game can really hurt you. 3 in the first half. Justin Herbert, man, I'm sorry, bro. You can't just be considered. Going into the year, he was in the discussion for the 5th best quarterback in football after the 4 stars and consensus top 10. That top 10 place is on shaky ground as evidenced by the mountain. Jordan Love stayed where he's at, which is, I think, a little disappointing. Geno, I know they missed the playoffs on a 5th tiebreaker. They won 10 games again. He had 70% completions. Brew, I give Geno's numbers because Brew dislikes him so much. I don't know why.
I just keep
and then Dak, listen, the injuries matter. Dak wasn't playing great pre-injury. He has to take this year certainly didn't help Dak Prescott standing. He dips just a bit. Now to the top 10, which is actually 9, because we can't find a 10th guy that definitively deserves to be there. Baker, another great year. He is definitively a top 10 quarterback at this point. CJ, took a bit of a hit. We have to be fair.
Yeah.
And Wild's brain is in pretzels right now because when he's yelling about people disrespecting Jalen Hurts, he's really talking about me.
Well,
and now
I like
that he sees I have him in the top 10 moving up
you didn't
for the
before
year.
I said that. Amazing job by our graphics team.
It was already there.
It's like betting live games. Quickly move them up the mountain.
Third row, Lamar moves up. Probably not high enough for Brew, but he moves up. Joe Burrow stays where he is. Matt Stafford stays where he is. And now the shocker. And this could change. And this is a little prisoner of the moment-y, but I don't know, man. We can't say this guy's having the greatest rookie season of all time. He might make the Super Bowl. Wild just showed a graphic where of all the quarterbacks left, he's the only one playing at an all-pro level. Everyone else is just kind of mistake avoidance. And we all think the defense isn't that good. Offensive line just has 2 former chief backups as its left guard and right tackle, and they're making it happen. And then atop the mountain, of course, is Patrick Mahomes. There is all the quarterbacks that we know are starting quarterbacks headed into next season, headed into conference championship weekend on the mountain.
Now, this is ripe for...
This is great mountain.
Coach, this is fertile ground.
Can we just, especially because I had to deal with all that nonsense from Wilds, can you just be honest and say, I'm sure you disagree with a thing or two. In general, it's a great mountain. Let me hear it.
In general, it's one of your better mountains.
Wow.
Really?
Feels a
It
little
I'm
backhanded,
shocked.
but I'll take it.
I would take that if I were you.
And look, you're a little bit prisoner of the moment with Jayden. I get it because nobody saw that coming. Nobody.
You swayed me on him.
Oh, okay. I like where Jayden is. His run right now is incredible, and hopefully it keeps going. Where I have an issue is where Darnold is, and I think there's a prisoner of the moment there too. And we look at the Detroit game, and you look at his end of the season, and you say, okay, well, he just went pumpkin mode. But if you just look at him versus Love, Geno, and Dak, and just compare their seasons, across the board, he's better than all of them. And you could say Jared Goff had kind of the same end of the season as Sam Darnold did, where he underperformed and he reverted back to the multiple turnovers, but yet he's still on that next tier. And Darnold's numbers weren't as good as Goff's this year, but they were competitive with it. And you don't have him as high as Herbert. And maybe if you're looking at turnovers, because Herbert had so few turnovers, that's why you have him a little bit higher. But Sam Darnold should be at least on the next level up. And statistically and performance-wise, he's equal to those 3 guys. And I do think it's a little unfair to put the whole game on him. You ask him to drop back 41 times in both the last game of the season and the playoff game. You don't give him any kind of run support. And the defensive line's on him in 3 seconds, 2 seconds. It's hard for anybody to really operate in that environment. I'm not taking it off him, but I think that the blame for Minnesota's collapse in that playoff game, there's a little bit more to go around than just putting it all on him.
Coach, as always, you raised some very good points. I'm just going to take you behind the curtain a bit, part of the problem. I really did not want to, conference championship week, have an argument about Brock Purdy. And I knew if I put Darnold a level above Purdy, Brew wouldn't be able to help himself. It was going to be, when Brew would have told the producers, I'm going to talk about this person. And then he would have been like, here's the thing on Purdy.
10 minutes.
And all of a sudden we would have heard things like Jaquaski Tart, and we would have heard things like Hoyer. It would have just been C.J. Beathard, and I just couldn't do it.
I mean, Purdy's a touch low. I'd put him above Geno, but I'm not going to stay there.
Geno.
You used to have a take. I think it was you. I'm 98% sure it was you. Well, we'll be the judge of that. But your take was you blamed the media. This was before you were officially the media ombudsman.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I guess you were always born for that.
Thanks.
But you used to blame the media for this overemphasis on the post or de-emphasis on the regular season. Because we so emphasize the playoffs and not just the Super Bowl, but the NBA Finals.
Yeah, it's a basketball
right,
thing.
And that's why we don't care about we belittled the regular season so much that nobody cares.
That's a basketball thing.
I don't want to do that. And that's why I got to move Lamar up to tier 2.
In place of who?
First of all, you do weird things with your mountain. So throw a vacant somewhere. I don't know, but he should be on tier 2. But if I have to put somebody down, you mentioned it, prisoner of the moment, Jayden. Now, if Jayden wins the Super Bowl, maybe it'll change. But I'd have to move Jayden down to Lamar just because he had not only his best season, regular season, but a historically great one. I mean, obviously the 4,000 yards, that's not historically great, but plus 800 yards rushing, the 40 TDs, the 4 interceptions. So I have to move Lamar up. And while he wasn't the regular season Lamar in the playoffs, he did show some growth in getting the Pittsburgh monkey off his back twice and playing well after the 2 miscues in the playoff game. So I think that bodes well for him going forward. So I will move Lamar up.
So I mean, that's, to be clear, I think that's legitimate. I think people sometimes get confused when I say my questions about Lamar and concerns about him in the playoffs, and then in a different conversation say the consensus 4 best quarterbacks in the league and include him in it. And the reason for that is he is so exceptional in the regular season that even if I'm totally right and he's just going to be this very unreliable playoff performer for the rest of his career, he'd still be a top 5 quarterback as long as he is this guy in the regular season, because that's so valuable and it gets you so many bites at the apple and all of that. So I get that. I'm just right now, and it might be a bit of a sugar high, but have to be open to the idea that Jayden Daniels it's not flash in the pan. Yeah. That the 5 years in college have almost made him like he's in year 2 already of the NFL. And a lot of what Coach was saying is going to be true. And I want to give Jayden as much love as I can, before something happens with the body frame stuff, and we're not. And so I do want to give him credit. Go ahead.
All right, this is a classic Brew thing. Jared Goff is way too low, but I've spent, I think, 80% of the mountains talking about Jared Goff, and he threw a bunch of interceptions, so today's not the day. But Jared Goff, I'm still on your team. As everybody knows, Stafford, just enough. What? He's a nice guy. I get it. He won a Super Bowl, the arm angles, don't get me wrong, to die for. Numerically,
I agree with this.
I went through it. He has thrown fewer interceptions and he took less sacks than Baker. Bake Show, on the other hand, has more completions, a better completion percentage, more yards per attempt, twice as many touchdowns, a better passer rating. Now, rushing, neither of them are super mobile, but Bake Show can get out there and move a little bit. 370 yards rushing to Stafford has 41. 3 touchdowns for the Bake Show, 0 for Stafford.
You want Baker on
just
row
Baker,
3?
Baker and Stafford.
So you want Baker ahead of Jalen?
I'm a Baker guy. I'm just talking about Stafford right now.
No, I'm
talking about Stafford. Yeah, I want Baker and Stafford to switch. I want Jalen to move all the way to the left.
There's no left to right.
I'm saying for me. There's not left or right to how I, arrange stuff here either, but I just prefer if it was like that. I'm not saying that's better. I'm just saying aesthetically, I would like Jalen Hurts.
I don't know why, and maybe I'll never know. You really break a lot of your fundamental rules about quarterbacks and coaches when it comes to the Rams specifically.
Because you're going crazy with the Rams.
No, but you...
Nick, you had a joke that you spent the night with the Rams tape.
Who said that was a joke?
I'm not saying you go too far with it, but you're talking about buying the Rams things, drinks, and stuff. And flowers come in from a take, the embodiment of a take. It's a little too much. I just ran through. Bake Show has every single statistic.
Bake Show.
Listen, I'm the Baker guy, and everybody knows
yards.
That. But Bears,
the second.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. I'm the Baker guy.
They start acting like it.
He's loved Baker forever.
Thank you. Exactly right. Coach knows. Coach is a day one guy. He knows that. Me and Baker go way back.
He has really loved Baker.
Thank you.
He loves Stafford more, though.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.